Hi, my name's Rich. I'm from Conifer, Colorado. Talking with my friend Jeet about some questions I have.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Rich, for this call and for the session. I'm very much curious and eager. I think last time we spoke was before COVID happened, right? And I
Yeah,
think it's been a long time that we there was a gap. So yeah, I'm very eager to hear your queries.
yeah. So I'm in this kind of a feedback loop. I don't know. I don't quite know why, but it's all about old memories and old, just like I do flashbacks to
Hmm.
places like that. Where I worked before. I'm getting ready to go to work in the morning, and I'm having flashbacks about old jobs.
Hmm.
And then while I'm working, I have a lot of time on my mind just because I'm working with a 4 year old who doesn't always interact with me. So, so I start thinking about, things that happened in high school
Hmm.
or um, girls that I've known in the past or situations. And there's no real pattern to it as far as the
Hmm.
remembrances. It's all different stuff.
Hmm.
But so I get the feeling that I'm kind of stuck in this feedback loop in the past, and I'm just wondering what your thoughts on that would be as far as why, what to do with it, and how to get rid of it.
Well, you cannot get rid of the thoughts like we discussed last time. You cannot, nobody in this world or anywhere in this universe can claim that they can get rid of thoughts because we are on a planet right now which is made up of a thought sphere, you see. So it's a collective thoughts. It can come into you in a customized way, but again, it's all collective. So you cannot actually stop the thoughts. Then there are people who say that let me try to convert the thoughts, let me try to convert the negative thought into the positive, so-called positive thought. But
Right,
even that is not possible because deep down the truth is that those frequencies are coming in, you are getting affected within. It is just that how much focus and attention you give to that. That's the thing.
right,
So the moment that thought comes in, you just watch it like, let's say, clouds in the sky, right? So if there is a cloud, let us say if there is a cloud which is in shape of a skull or anything else which scares you, for example, right? Or
right,
maybe a cockroach, I don't know. So anything that scares you, right? So if there is a cloud of that shape, you just observe that. You don't do anything. You just watch it and then you just let it go. Because the moment you observe it and just let it go, in the sense you just don't pay much attention to it, it it the intensity of it decreases. I am not saying it will go away immediately, but the intensity of it will decrease gradually. That is one
right.
thing. Second thing is we need to really see what exactly these flashes are. Is it from is it from something that you have read or some experiences that you didn't liked or something which you have rejected in your life in the past, or what exactly is this are these flashes of that we need to see. So it could be, like you said, it could be random ones, but many times what happens is you tend to go back into the past is because uh, there is something which is still making you cling to it, right? There is
Right.
some attachment, something or the other which is making you cling to it. So you need to check that what exactly those things are.
It's really like daydreaming because I do
Yeah.
find myself, if I'm really tired that day, I'll start kind of really just drifting
Yeah.
off in my mind. I'm still there physically doing my job,
Right.
but I'm not mentally 100% there.
So
I'm not.
that's what I'm saying. So that happens because of two things. One is if you don't like to do what you are doing, which is not the case here, right?
Right.
And the other thing is that in case if you have some aspect of yourself which is still attached to those things, which would like to re-experience those things, basically. So it's
Right.
like you go to Disneyland and you sit on a roller coaster. You are filled with excitement, right? you like the ride, for example, you
Right.
again want to go back there and want to enjoy the same thing again and again and again.
Right.
But no matter how many times you sit on that roller coaster, there will come a point where you'll be like, okay, I'm done with it. You know.
Right.
So same thing is with the mind. It's just that it wants those things to be back in your life, whatever those things are, or whatever that experience. Not even things, that particular experience is. And actually, that same thing happens with everybody in a way, if you look at it. And I'll tell you why and how that happens is, suppose if somebody goes to a restaurant, right? And you order something, you eat something. Now you come back home, and after, let's say, after some hours, or maybe next day when you're again hungry, and you visualize and you remember the same dish, your favorite dish, right? Your mouth will start watering even though that dish is not in front of you. So in reality there is nothing there, but your mind is creating those images, and it wants to retrieve those experiences which you had when you had that dish. You're getting me?
Right.
So it
Yeah.
again wants to have that experience. Now, why does that happen is because when you were doing it, when you are eating those your favorite dish or whatever you're doing, let's say when if you're dancing or listening to music or whatever, watching a movie, whatever you're doing, when you are not 100% experiencing it, even with your senses, if you're not 100% experiencing it, your mind would like to do it again. That's the trick.
Yeah.
So these experiences that you are talking about, maybe somewhere in the past, maybe in your dreams or in the past, you had such experiences, but then you want to go back and want to have that, because you want to have that type of, you want to relive that moment, you want to relive that moment,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So it's not just always about some traumas. The mind also want you to have those happy moments again. So
Yeah.
I've heard many friends who say that you should not remember any sad past or anything from the past which is terrible, but you must always recollect those memories which are good memories. So I tell them that, look, whatever you do, in the end, it's the past, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if it's a good memory, that's fine, but then it's not going to come back. That's the truth, and that's the bitter truth. Many people don't like to hear that, right? But the thing is that you are trying to relive that moment, and unfortunately that's not going to happen. Even in spirituality, I have seen many disciples and many people, even monks I have seen, when I was doing meditation with monks in forests of Mumbai, in remote areas. I still remember there were many what do you call, sadhus and gurus,
Yeah.
who used to tell their disciples that whatever experiences you get, even if it's a mystical experience, don't fall for that. In the sense, be happy, embrace that experience, be grateful towards divine or whatever that have experience happened to you. But that doesn't mean that you have to again go back and do the same sadhana or same practice, so that in order to get the same experience again. You see?
Right.
So let us
Yeah.
say, for example, I ask you to meditate right now, and you sat for meditation. You felt some goosebumps, you felt some sensation in your spine, or whatever, different types of experiences, or maybe you just saw some green color or some colors, when your eyes are closed. But you felt nice. So you want to again, go back and have the same experience, which should not happen.
Right.
Even in spirituality. So what I'm saying is that in those mystic moments also, and those mystic experiences also, it's not repetitive. Whatever is repetitive is in cycles, and that is mind. So the whole process of spirituality is to break away from this cycle, the repetitive cycle of the mind.
Right.
You see, that is why we call it liberation or mukti. Liberation doesn't mean that you are a slave of something and you want to get away of it. It's not that you are a slave of the mind. Mind is not your enemy. Please understand. There are many, unfortunately, people have misinterpreted it. Like many people think that mind is the enemy, or we must get rid of the mind itself, or we must replace the mind, or the content of the mind. That's not going to work out any which ways. You see,
Yeah.
the only thing is what you can do is this cycle that is there, the repetitive cycle, right? Not just of the mind, but what is mind basically? It's the same thing, right? All the information that you have of your past, so it reprocesses that information again and again and again in different forms.
Right.
So let us say you have, uh, let us say you used to dislike someone in your college, for example, right, or in your at your work, maybe some stupid colleague, for example, which you didn't like. You used to resist that person. Now what happens is you change the job, you go to some other job, and you will find someone who has similar qualities or something which matches that person.
Yeah.
So you know that statement, right? Whatever you resist persist.
Right.
So that is again the cycle. So the more you suppress anything or more you try to resist something, it is going to bounce back again and again and again. So
Yeah.
the only thing how you can have peace with it is you can simply sit for meditation or contemplation in this case, if at all there are some specific thing. And what you can do is you can simply embrace it and accept it and relive that moment in the meditation and then get done with it. You
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
but on a daily basis, if you're getting some thoughts, some random thoughts, like you said, that the shortest and the quickest way is just observe them. I will not tell that ignore them. Some people say that you should ignore those thoughts, which is again bullshit because you cannot ignore thoughts.
Yeah. You can't do it anyway. So.
Yeah, you cannot ignore thoughts. So the best way to do is just witness those thoughts. Like I said, just witness it. Okay, that's fine. These are the things. That's fine, and just let go of it. Don't get in. Don't indulge into those thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. And then none of them have been unpleasant.
So I'll
So.
give you one example, so it will help you better. A disciple, was planning to sit for a particular practice, a spiritual practice, and he first started, to sit in a meditation posture and closed his eyes. He got a thought of a mouse. Okay, so he said, okay, that's the mouse. I'm not going to chase it. Okay, then the mouse went somewhere, and the mouse went into the hilly area. So he said, okay, the mouse is in the hilly area, but I'm not going to chase it. Okay, then all of a sudden the mouse changed its form and became a tiger. And then he said that, okay, this is what it is, but I'm not going to chase the tiger. Okay, tiger then further went ahead. It went to a place which is filled with snow. So he said, okay, he's going in the snow area, but I'm not going to chase him there any which ways. Then that tiger all of a sudden changed its form and became a beautiful woman. Okay. Now you see there was a kind of a deviation in the meditation. So he
Yeah.
said, okay, that's a beautiful girl out there, but I'm not going to chase her. All right. But then that girl went inside a cottage and invited him. So he's like, really admiring the beauty of this woman. And he's like, okay, there's no harm just to go inside the cottage and see how the cottage is. So he goes inside, but then he thinks that I'm not going to chase her. But then all of a sudden, his master wakes him up and he realizes he didn't meditate at all. All he was doing was chasing, even though he was thinking that I'm not going to chase her or chase the mouse or the tiger. He did
Yeah.
chase it, right?
Yeah.
That's how the mind plays with you.
Yeah.
So we need to be really careful and intensively aware of how your mind is playing with you.
Yeah. It's just for some reason recently it has been, and I don't know why, but
Yeah, I mean, see, it's why it happens. That is again, again you are trying to analyze the situation there. So don't analyze those things. It's why it is happening. That's not the point. The point is that it is happening. That's it. It is what it is, and we just need to witness it. That's it. I mean, we don't need to label it. No need to judge it, right? And you don't need to blame anybody or anything, including yourself, for those thoughts.
yeah.
I know a friend of mine, a girl who was pure vegetarian basically. She went for a party, and somebody just asked her that if you want to eat something which is non-veg, or chicken maybe, or a fish. She said, no, I don't want to have. I'm a pure vegetarian. I'm a vegan, or maybe a pure vegetarian, right? And then when she comes home, all of a sudden she gets the thoughts that the texture of the chicken and all those things and how people were eating it. She gets tempted to eat it. Okay, but then she says, no, I'm a vegetarian person. But what is the truth out there? The truth is she got tempted. That's the truth. So you
Yeah.
cannot deny the truth, right?
Right.
But most people unfortunately do deny the truth because they want to follow their values, their morals, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
So sometimes spirituality knocks until you answer.
See, the thing is that sometimes, like I said, there are some, I would say, empty spaces of the past which you need to personally visit again and resolve them, like I said.
Right.
So it depends. Like I said, it totally depends on what type of glimpses you're getting. Sometimes it's also not from this life. I remember we discussed that,
Yeah.
right, about past life. So that happens. That also happens. Um, Now, not everybody understands that, how past life thing works, the glimpses of the past life,
Right.
right? But then, in your case, you have experienced it, so you know. So that there are multiple possibilities in this. For contemplation, you need to sit in a proper, I would suggest you can sit in a very silent room where it's just you, and then you can just focus and invoke the presence of the divine or your master or your guru, and
Right.
then you can ask them to help you. That's how you do contemplation. So contemplate on it and work around. And in case if you need my help, then I'm always there,
Yeah.
physically and non-physically also.
Cool.
Okay, let's do this exercise. What you can do is you can write down specific glimpses which affects you the most. So suppose if you get some glimpse and you get certain type of feelings along with it, so jot down the glimpses, what era or what year it was, and what actually you felt when you are getting those glimpses, right?
Okay.
And then when you sit for contemplation, like I said, you invoke the divine or your masters or a guru, and then you ask help from them. Because see, contemplation is not self-analysis. You see, many people misunderstand that. So contemplation is not self-analysis. Basically, it's not that you keep on
Right.
dissecting your, what's going on, what is the reason, what is the reason. It's not like that. Contemplation basically means that you cannot find or you cannot go within much to the deeper depths of the truth. So you invoke the presence and you seek their help to show you, right? Because obviously, we as human beings, we are not that smart to know all the answers, do we? So we need the help of the presence of the divine and the gurus, and you invoke the presence and you ask them to guide you and help you to see what you are not able to see, basically. That is
Right.
what is contemplation. like I said, the mind keeps on going into the cycles. So we just need to, um, you know, uh, let us say if somebody told you to, meditation is an observation. You just need to observe. But then the thing is that your mind creates an image of yourself within you, which assumes that you're observing things.
Right.
So it creates an observer, and then it observes the observer, observing observer. So it's like witnessing witnesser, witnessing witnesser. It's an non-ending game. It
Right.
can go till infinite. So we don't need to do that. That's the reason why you need to have the higher presence, or the presence invoke the
Yeah.
presence. Yeah.
Little guidance. Yeah. So,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
I shall do that.
Sure. All right, then. Thank you so much, Rich, for having me. And you have a nice one.
Thank you.
I'll see you
Have a
in the
good.
meditation.
Okay.
All
Have
right,
a good
then.
rest
Bye-bye.
of the day. Bye bye.
Bye.